Salvation came after the millennium reign of Tiamat and her children, when the son of Pelor, Akara, was sent to Aleph. He alone had the courage to lead an army against the dragons, and by Ara's light achieved victory. For the first time since the waning period following the trial of the false gods, non-draconic kind walked the surface safely. From then till now, the age of beings of intellect had begun. The effort of the Cambrian druids was invaluable in reseeding the once green world. The empire was conservative in its settlements beyond the deep holds, but the necessity of trade led to port towns such as Sinners, Saints, Pahet, and the mighty Valen being installed. Checkpoint towns also developed, such as the smallest offshoot of Citadel's children, Trent. The employ of the druids and rangers to lead pilgrims across the renewed surface of Calibri became as common as the nation's faith.
Welcome to the Tomes of Time! I'm the Timekeeper, and here are my lovely victims. Well, I mean, players, who will now introduce themselves, starting with our friend. Yes?
Hello, I am Captain Sean the Butcher Edinburgh. I am played by this numbskull called Kyle St. Andrews. I used to captain the ship until this DM somehow sunk it.
Hello friends, my name is Rafa Marcus, and I am a monk of, to be determined, let's say. It's nice to meet you all.
I'm Niela Volcane. I am a barbarian that fell from the sky.
Oh, assassin.
Give me 1 second. Skip over me for now.
Oh, Doctor.
Grace and peace from the great and mighty Pelor. I am the humble and yet powerful healer Donatello, bishop of the great religion of the Pelorians.
And back to our assassin? Question mark? Should I just give the intro for you?
Yeah, you should probably just give his intro right now.
Alright, this is the Christian Assassin 1138 in the center bottom here. He is our rogue assassin. And he hopefully got caught up on the last episode to understand where we are.
Yeah, I may or may not have been able to do that. Time kind of got away from me. I apologize for that.
I'm thinking
to properly introduce myself, if that is okay.
Certainly.
I am Garrett Artan, the Silent Hand, looking for the inquisitorious agent who murdered my father. And I am now attempting to help our resident barbarian find her way home. I am played by the Christian Assassin 1138. Yeah, that's me.
He is the Assassino.
Yes.
You have killed his father.
And who remembers where we left? Last? Who remembers?
Who remembers what happened, basically?
I want answers.
Off handle. Powerful weapon for a more civilized age.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. We basically found a round of slaves being guarded by a bunch of hooded men, robed men, not necessarily assassins, but robed hooded men. We beat them all. One of them I actually pushed out of the tent, which was actually pretty cool. And in the means of doing so, we found a monk who has different religious views. That's going to be fun to think about. And figuring out afterwards where these people are coming from, we've discovered that it seems that the Inquisition seems to be the source of this slave trafficking. And we also notice that they might have some connection to the enemy faction that we've been fighting. So we've all returned to base. We have a few other people coming in. Some, I believe, one or two are related to our friend Carmichael. And we're all traveling on caravan, off to find the Inquisition.
Yes, you get a point of inspiration. In the meantime, while our party was adventuring throughout the port city of Andyle and into the nearby Festival of the Detestable, in which those events occurred, their trusty friend, their religious leader, friend, whatever, youth pastor, whatever you want to call him, Lance has been going through town preparing supplies for a wagon from which they will travel and explore. And now, after all those events and an evening of having it sink in, that it seems that the Dynasty and the Inquisition are working together for worse. Not better or worse, just worse. Basically the next morning, after having dreams of various sorts, some passive-aggressive, some possibly sad memories, some terrifying, some heartwarming, you awaken, and I'm actually going to retcon a few things. So the inspiration point for last time, because all of you, almost everyone of the party basically explained what happened last time. I'm going to say the party as a whole has a pool of inspiration of 1 inspiration point that any person can use. It's only 1 point. Other things. So basically, in the morning, you come together, and basically, Lance puts out the documents, all the documents that you've been gathering so far, showing the maps of the towns, Trent, Saints, Valen, along with all of the other documentation. And he just goes, well, I suppose the only thing left is to track these leads.
Yes, I believe so. I hope once we finish up tracking these leads, we can find the Inquisition and bring these people to justice. Hopefully, on the way home, we can get our friend home and possibly our captain his ship. But justice needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. You remember additional quests you've taken onto yourself. There is Jessica Eval, who is looking for her brother, who was sold into the same kind of industry that your new monk was going to be. The captain of this town's captain of the guard will be accompanying you as kind of a what's that show called? Columbo-style detective.
Marcy Sproul, is that you?
Yes. And Saren is, of course, accompanying now her charge, Carmichael. Well, if that seems like the good, proper plan with all of you, I have the cart ready. We can proceed. Alright. You all follow him out, and there is a well... Basically, think, not Conestoga, think more like Western Stagecoach, where it's more hardwood. The top of it is just full of what seem like tents and canvas things and supplies. Inside there's enough seating for all of you. The back would open up more like a Conestoga, but it does close up for weather protection. Lance mans the seat for the reins of the 2 horses. as the captain of the guard gets in beside him. Any last words before you embark?
The only other business that I need to take care of is that I need to send some money over to the forge. But that aside, I believe we might be ready.
Alright. We can say you handled that. And then you all get into the cart and settle down. E-Disciple audio, could you give me a quick audio test because your video's frozen? I just want to make sure the audio's alright. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. Alright. So, you set out... Oh, one of the things that Lance shows you, at least he hands back into the cabin of the cart, is basically an overarching map of... Make sure you scroll down to the bottom continent. Or not the bottommost, but... Okay. Maneuvering on tablet is a pain, okay. Over to Calibrian. There's a map of these lands.
Scooby Gang.
Yes.
I love it.
I'm glad it's the classic Scooby Gang.
Yes.
I know.
Let's not talk about that abomination that they call Velma.
Oh, goodness. So then we're going to transition to the traveling map. It'll actually mark...
Oh, it's talking here!
It'll mark the travel.
It's so small.
So the party will start heading out. Lance, being more familiar with these places, he knows Trent is this away. I'm sorry, I need to take care of something really quick. If you want to plug your channels for a moment, I'll be right back. My apologies.
No, you're fine. Before we get moving, I suppose we should plug ourselves. Noel, do you want to go first, or should I? Alrighty then. Well, if you guys want to see what I'm doing, you can find me here on TikTok at BlackDoctor21, as well as my YouTube under the name The Black Doctor. There, you can find most of the content that I do and some of the... I actually need to make a playlist of the times that I've guest starred on other people's channels. I was just on Revealed Apologetics defending the deity of Christ. But you could also check out my link tree, where I have not only some really, really cool merch that you could buy, really awesome t-shirts that I think are really fun, but also my Patreon, where you can find audiobooks that I do, live streams that I do, and church history lessons that I do. I've been to at least 2 seminaries now, so I believe that I'm able to talk about the issue, so you guys can get at least 2 seminaries worth of church history lessons for a fraction of the price. So please check me out. Give me money.
If you give me money, you'll go to heaven.
Oh no.
Wait a second. That's papism.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness. So does anybody else want to plug theirs before we continue?
I'll just note, if you want to help support Tomes of Time, if you like what's going on so far, I have a Patreon where I do readings. I do phonetic readings of the 1611 and Tyndale New Testament Bibles, which turns into hilarity, especially when we add a little libation, as the old people used to call it. And on that note, so as you're traveling along, the scenery is pretty nice. It's kind of that transitional season between winter and spring. The world is very lush, very overgrown. Though those native to, or more familiar with Calibri would know, there's a lot denser woods than anywhere near where you are in these lands. As you're traveling, I'd like everyone to make or anyone who would be keeping an eye out of the cart to make a perception check. Pardon?
What does an 11 give me, boss?
Oh, I didn't know I was your boss. Oh, Cap.
Oh, whoops.
Cap, you're the ranger.
Hey, yo, I don't see nothing, boss. They're just trees, bro.
Oh.
Whoa. I had a decent
Goodness.
Wow.
Well,
I mean, the 21?
Wow.
hey, I see the fleas and the ghosts in the woods.
You rolled deception. I mean, that's close in spelling.
No. I was like, oh, perception. Wait a minute.
It's alright.
Time to deceive. Oh, wait.
Determine if I'm trying to deceive everyone as to what I see.
Rafa, your elf eyes see. You see ahead of you as you look out that there are some shapes in the shadows under the trees ahead of you. That those aren't bushes. And as you approach, an arrow does thunk right into the center between the two drivers. As I move the player card down this whole assembly line. And you can assemble where you're going to be as you get out of the cart. But you hear several small war cries from outside.
Prepare yourselves, everyone. We have company.
I should actually click onto that tab. That's helpful for me as a DM.
Is it just me, or did we just accidentally a battle?
We went to their aggro zone.
That was not a branch you heard.
Don't say Scooby.
From the bushes, you see emerging towards you a small group of people. Oh, these are off screen for the tablet.
I honestly thought it was going to be like a small child appearing, and then suddenly, once we notice him, he just transforms into an army of huge people.
And make sure I'm keeping people on track.
Give him no ideas.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the little baby! Now look at the big baby.
Actually, yeah, it is jarring as what you see before you. The tallest person is actually this strange woman who steps out of the bushes. Her skin seems charred, except for where her hair is. There is almost a plume of flame. The rest you see over here what is he? Let me pull up his chart. Oh goodness. A gnome. Up here is a halfling holding a bow and arrow is a what seems to be a half elf with a bit of an emo haircut and an earring, and to his flank is a stout dwarf with a bit of a greaser look to him. They're kind of just menacingly brandishing their weapons at you. As the one who you quickly clock as their leader comes forth, and just goes, "Hey! It's a toll to pass here!"
Forward. Friends, I'm sure we can come to an agreement without any need for violence.
Friends, we're the Bugbear Bandits, and if you want to come through our territory, you gotta pay.
I have a question.
Yes.
How tall is the tallest one?
She's about. Actually, she's shorter than you. She's like 4'11". It's the
So they're all
the
shorter
burning.
than me.
Yes, most of them pint-sized. Yes.
Kicking distance.
Kicking size.
Time to aim for the shins.
Time to play baseball. Let's go.
Oh no!
So what is this toll that you speak of?
He looks to the half elf, who's fiddling with trying to get his next arrow knocked. I don't know, man. What'd you decide it was gonna be? 50 gold. 50 gold, and we'll let you through, no hassle. All right?
These children have muscle.
What is it that makes you think that you deserve 50 gold for the use of a road that does not belong to you? How is that just?
The dwarf just kind of takes a step forward and cracks his knuckles loudly.
Nella does it back.
Roll an intimidation check.
Me?
No, Nella.
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 Oh, okay.
Oh.
While she's doing that, I would like to...
You still have the pool of inspiration.
Armor.
I do, but it's not worth it right now. She just does it to copy him. She's not trying to intimidate.
I have like 3 to 4 inspiration. I could probably give you some if the DM
You can allocate your extra inspirations to other party members.
I give you my inspiration.
Well,
I'd like to activate my...
Activate what?
Come on, Nella!
What would you like to activate?
my armor. Spell. Armor of Agathis.
Oh, okay. Yes, you draw on a power you question if you still believe in, and, is that the one? Let's see, can you click it into the chat and then mark that you've spent the spell slot so I can have a memory of what it says it does?
I do that.
Sorry, I should have read beforehand. If you click on just the title in your spells, it should pop it in.
If I click on the title and my spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the list where it says Armor of Agathis, you should be able to just click on it.
Yeah.
Not working?
No, I'm not seeing where to do that. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure I coded it in there for you. For some reason, it's not on Roll20. I had to code it in. I thought I did.
Oh,
I could have led you astray. That could be on me.
you need a description? Is that what you need?
Huh?
You need a description? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, just the description put into the... I just want to know, like, how it... I'm just trying to figure out a flavor... I'm trying to figure out a flavor text thing, actually. Oh, when I try to access your character sheet, it's stuck in Charactermancer. So I will be of no help looking at that.
That's interesting.
I can read it if I don't know what that just
Just describe visually how the spell kind of affects your appearance, if you will.
Sure. A protective magical force surrounds you, manifesting as a spectral frost
Okay.
that covers you and your gear. You gain 5 temporary hit points for the duration. If a creature hits you with a melee attack, while you have these hit points, the creature takes 5 cold damage.
Alright, yeah.
So, while I am activating the armor, I'd like to roll for intimidation, if I could.
Sure.
And hopefully, if it goes well, I'll say a cool line or something.
Sure.
Nice armor.
So that'd be under ability skills, intimidation, roll, and
That's 17.
Who are you trying to intimidate? Or are you trying to intimidate all of them?
well, was the dwarf the one that was closest to me? He cracked his knuckles.
The dwarf to you? You haven't put your token on the board yet. I don't know where you are situated.
Oh.
Click on the... you have to click on the name, not the actual token. It's dumb.
Name token. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm a noob.
It's alright. I can drag it for you. Who do you want to be standing beside?
Maybe that's what I need to do. Hold on.
Oh.
Nope, it didn't work. I had jumped out just to stand in front of the caravan while I was talking anyway, so I could just be up front.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that.
You'll be alright. We'll put you in front of the Lance.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't know why you're off center.
So I'll say to them, I assure you all, this is a very bad idea for the slim chance of 50 gold.
Well, I don't think so.
I try to step forward, and I say, my friends, there's no need for any of this. I'm sure, out of the kindness of your own hearts, no matter how dimly you think it is, that we might be able to come to an agreement. And I roll persuasion.
All right, roll. The three boys kind of look at each other in that line there. They go, nah. And meanwhile, the woman kind of walks over and kneels down to talk to the halfling. If you could all roll perception checks for me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
That's not great.
I'm not wrong.
What?
I shall use my inspiration to reroll.
All right.
Wow, that's 2 in a minute. I knew I needed to burn down some of these. That didn't help.
I'll have them do sort of a roll to see how discreet they're being, to give you the benefit of the low rolls. What would that be? Talking quietly isn't really a skill. I guess
Subtlety?
I guess stealth. Ooh, okay. Oh. Yeah, you can't make out what they're really saying, but they're having a small little heated discussion. You can tell it's heated because as her expression changes to more annoyed with him, the fire flares a little hotter out the back of her head. And those of you native to Aleph, you may roll either Arcana or Nature checks to determine what she might be.
So that would probably just be me and Blake, right?
He is also native to, basically this world.
Everyone but me, basically. That's what.
Right. So that would be like a nature check or survival.
Nature or Arcana.
Okay. Let me see.
Hello, newcomers to the
better?
comments. Is this live D&D?
I'm not going to do well with this voice.
This is indeed live D&D, yes. Kyle, you remember a sea shanty warning about the dangers of letting onto your ship fire genasi for their fiery hair when embridled can accidentally set fire to things like sails and ropes and crewmates. And you're figuring that's what's before you. Sort of an elemental, yet very more natural creature.
So pretty much keep that thing away from my gunpowder horn.
Oh goodness, yeah, keep her like 10 feet away from you at least.
Better note, throw it at her. See how
Kaboom!
So they argue for a bit. And she is going to have to roll.
If you want me to, I could. That's all I'm going to say.
After a little bit of discussion, his demeanor finally changes. He goes, All right, Alright, this ain't nothing losing our skins over. We'll let you go. But remember us, the Bugbear Bandits. Someday we'll be big, and someday we'll mess people up. And she kind of slaps him on the back of the head. He's like, ah! Come on, Cindy! And they let you pass through.
I look back at the team. See, some things can be solved without violence.
Yes,
I wasn't about to fight a child.
You got the lesson.
And I happily tap my staff as I saunter back into the cart.
Into the mystery.
Let's go, gang.
Twice on the ship. Well done, sir.
Alright, so we return to the traveling map.
Back into the void.
Dun dun dun. Falling
Do we have open
inside.
dialogue?
Huh?
Do we have time for open dialogue?
Oh, certainly, yes. As the cart continues to travel.
You did well back there, friend.
Well, thank you. I'm glad we're able to finally get through one of these encounters without violence, even though I know that it is one of our strong suits. I am a man of peace, and we are to seek peace and pursue it.
But what if...
You were saying, sir?
But what if
Oh, justice?
Well, justice is a requirement of what we are to do, and if violence does come to that, then justice must be done. Justice is the foundation of Pelor's throne, and therefore it must be taken care of, for he is a god of justice. But if it can be done without violence, I think that should be our best and first resort, do you not?
I would agree, but my only fear is that the next group of people that come down that road won't have the advantages that we did.
You're right. But they are children, are they not?
Perhaps.
I don't think it would be wise in order to take care of children like that. If it was me, I'd best leave it to the she-bears.
Does anybody else want to have any interpersonal conversations as the day rolls on?
I'll leave it at that for now.
Saren has been showing Carmichael the different scholarships she managed to secure to different colleges. Lore, Valor, Whispers, all the... Basically, she was able to secure every and any college. He's just like, oh, I don't know. What do you think, Nella?
You actually learn fighting in any of these colleges. This doesn't look like fighting. This looks like dancing and singing.
I mean, some of them. You've taught me a few things too.
Yes. I am not the one to ask for this sort of asking.
Oh, actually, and he pitters over and is like, Lance, can you stop the cart? He kind of rolls his eyes and holds. No, I want to spar. Can I show you something? I want to spar.
Oh, yes, of course.
Alright. You get out to spar, and he doesn't draw his daggers. Alright, ready?
Yes.
He tries to punch your leg.
She just kind of lets him.
Now hit me back, come on.
Very good.
Hit me back, please. Come on.
I am not going to do that.
Do it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. She punches his face. Full on. The face!
Roll to hit. Don't roll to hit. Roll damage. He's letting it happen. Roll damage.
Well, that's just an unarmed strike, so
Yes.
that would be like, what, 1 plus her strength mod?
Sure.
It's 4.
Okay. He falls back in the dirt. As he gets up slowly and kind of... and he looks up at you with that glint that you've only seen in your own eyes when you look in the mirror as you've been practicing your rage. And he runs at you and jumps and punches right into your shin, and it smarts. And it will bruise.
Oh, this was very good.
And he backs up and goes, oh, yeah.
Like, taps his head.
And you now come to the realization that your influence has led him to take a level in Barbarian.
Awesome!
Level up. He has learned
I'm a great
rage.
influence!
Dude, soon. Just give it a few more levels and he'll be saying, boy.
Hold on, guess what? You're now actually an influencer.
Nice.
Sorry,
Oh.
corny jokes.
Alright.
I'm sorry.
And
I just
Carmichael,
got home, so give me
Alright.
a few minutes and I'll have my camera.
sure thing.
Why was
Alright.
that so good?
So, you all get back into the cart. For transparency's sake, that was actually supposed to happen during the last encounter, but I forgot. You also would have discovered if you tried doing anything, they were level 1 and had an average of 8 health per person.
That would not have gone.
Oh.
I would have been crying the entire ride.
As you approach, the roads haven't been bad, but they're starting to get a little rockier than clay in this soil composition. And you start hearing kind of a rickety sound from one of the wheels. If anybody wants to do anything to look into that.
Anyone a mechanic?
Would that just be an intelligence check, or what would you...
That would maybe be investigation, perception, insight, given the two of you have worked on mechanical rigs.
I'll
Oh,
do
Kyle, you look out the window and you see the exact moment as the wagon, as the back axle shears and the back left wheel comes away and rolls off as the wagon lilts hard. Fortunately, though, Lance says, "City Hall!" And as you look out before you, you are approaching what seems to be a podunk little town. The welcome sign that should say, "Welcome to Trent," has been written over in thick red crimson paint, saying, "Abandon hope, all ye who enter here." As your broken down cart proceeds into town, coming to a stop as the back axle finally breaks fully.
You want to fix that?
The cart effectively stops just inside of town.
have any...
Hmm?
Does anyone have any rope?
Did I get my rope back? Hold up. I got some hemp rope, yeah.
And we will transition to the town itself, now that you are here. The first town on your intended travel route, the town of Trent. And I should click onto there.
Where are we coming in from?
Yes, sorry, 1 second. I had not... I plan ahead. I don't always plan out everything. Now, I do know what way you're entering from. I just didn't put down the token for it. So your wagon is broken down right about here, by what most of you know to be a postmaster's office.
Did he have supplies up top?
Pardon?
Did he have any rope in the supplies up top?
There are ropes. It is secured down with rope, but your wheel is back a few hundred yards, and your other axle, basically, it's now fully broken, so there's a rod broke in the mud, there's a wheel laying beside your cart, well, back behind your cart a little bit, and a wheel off in the bushes that you'd have to go searching for.
I'll go get the wheel. That's fine.
Okay. Looking around, you see a group of small children playing in the street.
I'll just wave hello as I walk by to get the wheel.
Well, not you, Rafa. Actually, roll investigation though for finding the wheel.
I did just roll that, didn't I?
Oh yes, okay, yeah. You find it easy enough. It carved a path through the wet grass. All right, Kyle. Yeah. All right. You see poking out from the postmaster's office a man who has glasses for a reason. No. Ah, yes, here it is. A little halfling. Who goes, newcomers, with a broken down wagon to boot. Welcome. Here. He kind of goes back into his office and slams the door.
Well, that's a fine how do you do.
I want to hop off the wagon and help Carmichael and Saren off.
Alright. As you do, you hear in the distance the sound of the kids playing as they're making basically, instead of snowballs, mud balls, and throwing them at each other.
Ah, yes.
There's an assortment of halflings and half-elves and humans and other child of different folk.
Looking around, Donatello wonders, this place seems so peaceful. I mean, aside from some that are quite rude, I wonder why the sign provides such a warning.
Was it a warning? What did that mean?
I don't know. Most of what I remember from that comes from the words of one of our famous poets, but I'm not necessarily sure what it would mean here.
Maybe I should wait on that.
Is this the sign in me coming back to the cart?
What? What about the sign?
So wherever I am, before I'm coming back to the cart, is the sign in between me and it?
Yes. We'll say the sign is just a bit past the bottom tail of the E on post office there on the map.
Okay. So as I'm coming back, I'm going to stop at that sign and for some reason just kind of stare at it for a while.
Roll an insight check. Roll for vibes.
Roll for vibe check.
Huh. It's not too...
I have a quick question.
Person who painted it chose a nice shade. Yes?
Where do you want me to be? Because I don't know if I'm actively with the party at this current moment in time.
You are with the party.
He's been asleep this whole time.
Got it. So what, y'all just carry me around?
Heavy yes. Sleeper. You've been
Talk about the definition of carrying. Hey, what can I say? I love a good corny joke.
You see some guards at the top of this watchtower.
Yeah, can I investigate that? Because Mela kind of knows what a watchtower is. She wants to see if this is like...
Oh, sure.
A heavily guarded structure.
Yeah, roll an investigation check as you look at the... It's not like super tall, but it's not like super short.
Mela
It's average.
You can tell that there's two guards, one watching out, one watching into the city. They're armored much like the guard from Andyle, but slightly lesser. Either maybe it's finances, maybe it's just a level of expected protection need. Very much the same kind of uniform, just not as battened down with bells and whistles. Which, as that, Herschel does step down, plops into the mud, and goes, "Well, cart's messed up. Fine cart you have there, Lance." As Lance jumps down and goes, "Well, thank you. I didn't have any help in selecting it." And they go back and they start looking at the damage. "This won't do good at all. We're gonna have to get the axle replaced, the whole assembly. I suppose we should find out if they have a blacksmith in this town, or any woodworker."
Then I believe we should go look. Not necessarily caring whether or not anybody follows me, Donatello begins to leave the cart and begin to hobble to, I believe the store is right close by.
Yes, there is a general store. As you enter, there is a patron or two, an old grandmother talking with the man behind the counter about some basic pharmaceuticals. And the the storekeeper is just a human female who looks at you and goes, "Oh, welcome." And
he lightly bows. "Greetings, madam. A few friends of mine. We've just recently entered town, and our cart is broken. Do you know where we can find any supplies in order to repair it? Possibly a smithy that we could take the advantage of."
"Well, we certainly stock some general supplies here. Either the forge or livery at the other end of town should be more equipped for your issues. But if you have any need for food rations or restocking on basic exploring rations, my shop certainly has what you will need."
Well then, my friend, well, I am eternally grateful for your help and for your service.
Actually, if you're looking for a discount too, and she kind of motions for you to come closer so she can have a more hush-hush explanation.
He leans upon his staff and leans in closer.
"Lately, my supplies have been coming up missing. The transports have been raided. I can't expect all of it to come up, but there was a recent shipment of mage root." Please roll an Arcana check. "I'd be willing to put up 100 gold if you could get any amount of that shipment back to me." So if you could roll an Arcana check.
I would like to point out, Jeremiah, that your wording of that we can take advantage of was quite interesting there.
I can't find words today.
When she says mage root, you instantly remember, so mage root is basically this naturally growing fungus that is basically like a stimulant for magic users that heightens their magical abilities.
Yeah, we most likely used to use it a lot during the war.
It's some certainly resort to it. In high doses, it could be problematic.
Right.
It's not always kosher in every area, or even parish to parish. The use of it can be frowned upon or not frowned upon.
I would immediately look at her and begin to question her. "And what do you intend to use the mage root for?"
"We sell it. Sometimes the parish, sometimes the odd apothecate comes through, or arcanist who needs some component for a spell that they just can't find any other substitute for, and if you can't find residuum, you can always use mage root.
So you will be certain that it will not be used in order to abuse one's power, so that men might live a quiet and sober life.
Oh yes, we have a limit on how much you can get, and we keep record of who purchases from this store. Yes.
Well then, I will see if my party can see what we can do. And of course, we are in need of the money. That might be helpful, so we will gladly be of assistance.
I would be most grateful. Remember, that's a 100 gold reward if you can find that. Just, I mean, anything more than just a few crumbs will be well worth it.
Of course. Do you have any idea where the shipment would have gone before it was intercepted?
No, I'm afraid.
Well, we shall see what we can do and see what we can find.
Well, it was a shipment from Valen, so it would have been coming from the northwestern stint of the road. I do know that.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Renegade.
Well then, I shall be off. The grace and mercy of the great Paylor be with you.
And also with you.
He smiles as he wobbles out of the store.
All right. The kids playing in the street has gotten to more of in front of the shop, and you have to kind of shift Lilt aside as a mud ball flies past you onto the door.
I look at the children, and I likely say, I know that you all are having fun, but let us make sure that we are not disturbing anyone else in our little bit of enjoyment, shall we?
Yes, sir. They all kind of say in unison and run off giggling.
He smiles. Children are a gift from Paylor.
See, Jeremiah, if I were in your shoes, I would have been like, you were a little to the left.
Get good, scrap.
And that's the difference between a good influence and a bad.
That's the difference between a bishop and an assassin.
Roll a perception check for me, if you will, Doc.
Uh-huh. Ooh.
Distinguished gentlemen. I would say.
Yes, you hear the sound of someone's breakfast no longer, and or lunch no longer becoming a part of them, as you look over and see from the rung of the porch outside the saloon, there's a vagrant losing his gut.
I immediately walk over to him and try at least rubbing his back to help ease his pain. There is something I was mentioning earlier about a quiet and sober life. Sir, you don't seem very sober. Are you alright?
The first thing that hits you as you approach is the smell. This bathing, not an oddity in these times. This man kind of disagrees with that. He is rank. Smells a bit of alcohol. He's got rags wrapped around him, and tattered clothes. He's well bundled up. Kind of looks like he carries his life with him. And he looks up. He has only a few teeth in his mouth with a scraggled beard. He goes, I don't remember the last time I was sober. Name's Honest Tom. He lifts a hand to you that has all but the ring finger.
He, with his, he only has 3 fingers anyway, so he tries to go above, and tries to go under, and then just tries to regularly shake his hand. Donatello.
I'd
say it's a pleasure, but you don't look very pleasurable right now.
Rarely and rare associable. Say, I'm a little down on my luck. You wouldn't happen to have a spare copper rolling around in that coin purse of yours, would you, sir?
He looks at the man in his poor state. And he takes out...
You see his left eye is cataract.
Oh... He takes out 3 gold coins and then places it within his hand.
His eyes light up. Well, his one eye lights up. That's just best damn life, sir. How can I ever repay you?
There is no need for payment. If you want to make it up to me, you will get a shower, you will get some good food, and you will take care of yourself.
Well, I'll tell you what. 2 of these is a night at this saloon here upstairs. So I'll take you up on that. Thank you so much. As he's jamming the 3 coins against your. Are you wearing a breastplate? Against your chest, whatever is atop that, and he kind of wiggles himself away and inside. As the 2 Western saloon-style doors kind of wobble.
Foot in and out.
In his absence. Inside you hear a small bardic group playing, as there's the basic talk of people interacting and drinking and gambling.
Donatello thinks to himself, I honestly should have paid for his rooms myself. I should probably do that. Hopefully he doesn't spend it all on alcohol, and he tries to chase down the man walking into the saloon.
Inside there's several tables where they're playing poker, drinks are being served, men are talking with women. Behind the bar is a battle axe where in the Wild West a shotgun would be. There's a large eloquent painting that you care not to make sure you're focusing on. And roll a investigation check to see if you can keep track of Honest Tom. Okay. Yeah, you see as he thumbs the 3 gold coins to the man behind the counter, and he's given a key and a mug of ale. And he takes a big swig. Actually, he downs the whole thing before stumbling off to go upstairs. And he kind of does the wiggly fingers wave at a few of the women around the bar as he walks around.
He walks up to the bartender and says, I thank you for letting him have the room, but I would recommend that you strictly regale him not with wine or alcohol, but with water to keep him, at least get him on his right mind. I think with the rest of the money that he spends, he should put it on something that would better his life instead of ending it.
He kind of leans over as you see sewn into his apron is the name Phil Mickup. He's a human, and he looks up at you and he's like, "Thing is, without the ability to purify food or water safely, just a mild ale is the best bet around these parts, I am afraid. And also, the coin kind of is what keeps things flowing around here, rather than a kind suggestion. If you want to pay for me to take the water over to the church to get it purified, I can maybe get that arranged."
This town does not even have clean water.
Oh, most towns around this place don't, no? That's a luxury only some cities take care of. I mean, Sure, there's the water tower, but that's mostly used for bathing, and that's mostly rainwater. You know, how many times a year does that actually get cleaned out of all of its algae and whatnot?
Well, I'd like to walk over to the church.
Alright. You walk down.
I can move my guy now, I figured it out, because I'm so smart.
You walk down the streets. The children are playing kind of in the schoolyard.
What's going on?
Not much. Are you going to enter the church, or are you just going to look around the church?
I'm going to stand outside and just look at it for now.
Okay. After a few minutes, you hear the sound of someone clopping through the mud as you see a withered, aging man in clerical garb rounding the corner as he goes up to the door. Before he goes up the steps, he kneels and pulls out a little token of Paylor and starts to whisper pray to himself. And then he kind of does the little hand gesture of the order and starts going up the stents. Oh no, it's alright, Spike. Hi, welcome, you can watch.
Hey, bud.
And before he goes in, he looks at you and goes, "Hello?"
Greetings, friend.
You see he's a human. He's old. What brings you about here?
Nothing much, just sitting in my thoughts, if you will.
Seem to have to be doing that a lot these days, I'm afraid.
Indeed.
He kind of begrudgingly nods and closes the door. He opens it again. "Can I get you anything? Are you hungry, thirsty? Prayer?"
After a long pause, I appreciate your offer, but for now, I don't think so.
I wouldn't stay around here too long. There's a bewitching...
And why is...
He goes, "There's a bewitching of sorts."
What do you mean?
I know not what, but... My partner has gone missing, as have other patrons of this church. He went
missing?
He went...
By what means?
I'm not sure. He went off to investigate it, and he too has not returned for some time now.
Investigate what?
To see where the people went. Surely they did not just disappear.
So no one knows? Where did he go to investigate?
He didn't really say, unfortunately.
Did he leave town, or was he just going to investigate in the town?
I'm sorry, what?
Did he leave town to investigate, or was he investigating here in the town?
Yes, he did.
Which was it?
He left.
He left the town? Which direction did he go when you last saw him?
I don't know. He left before I woke.
I see. Well, I can make no promises, but if there's anything we can do, we shall.
Okay. Does anybody else want to be doing anything? Of course, you guys can travel in groups instead of just alone.
I was following Doc while ago. Doc, when I overheard the conversation about the paying to get the water purified and stuff, did you pay for it or not, Doc?
I was still I'm still deciding on that. I was actually going to suggest that we take it ourselves.
Well, I was gonna say I'll pay for it because I don't want to see the poor man drunk, and I want to question you. Why don't you give him money anyways?
Well, I think that would be a very wise and very noble choice, my dear captain. If you would like, then we shall pay to have that done.
All right, how much does it cost? 1 gold?
Water, silver.
1 silver? I don't got no silver. I got gold and copper.
Yeah, you'll get 9 silver back for paying for that.
All right.
You wanted more than 1 glass? How much did you want?
As long as he stays here.
I could secure you a barrel. That would be 2 gold.
2 gold, all right. I lay the 2 gold on the counter.
Alright, he goes and he supplies you with a barrel of water.
I don't need the barrel of water. You just give it to the man upstairs. Every time he wants something to drink.
This is brown. It has a flavor.
You see me over there.
What was that, Doc?
Oh, that wasn't Jeremiah. That was me. I said, is it a good kind of flavor?
One, you're not there. But speaking of people who are in other places, I think, Nella, you wanted to talk to a guard? As the scene transitions?
Yeah. Because she just wants to understand, like, the security and stuff.
Okay. You could either go to the guardhouse or you could try knocking on the watchtower.
She'll go to the watchtower, it's closer. She'll tell Carmichael to stay by the wagon, though.
Okay. I guess I'll keep looking at those scholarships. A guard kind of notices you and kind of yells down inside of the tower, and someone opens the door and goes, "Yes?"
Do you guard this town?
Certainly, yes. Someone's got to.
If you not do a good job of it, someone defiled the sign.
Oh. I see. Oh. He kind of heads over to look at the sign. Goes, fascinating.
You did not know that this happened?
No. I mean, it makes perfect sense, but...
It makes sense. What does this mean?
There's been some troubling occurrences lately that would leave someone to believe that this town is under some form of bewitchment or a nexus of hell or...
Hell?
I mean, it's a bit poetic and romantical, but yes.
No, what is hell?
He cocks an eyebrow. Well,
Loki's daughter, of course.
I don't have a character sheet for this yet. I need him to make a religion check.
Well, okay, Jeremiah, it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about original Norse mythology, yes. If we're talking MCU, no.
Okay. He goes, basically, at least in the Pelorian faith, when you die, if you were a worshipper of Mathodorian, you go to a sort of paradisical beyond, and if you were an enemy of Mathodorian, you are judged as such and are sent to a fiery pit.
Pit?
Pit Lake, there's a lot of words for it, you know.
Jeremiah, what are you doing?
Pit Lake,
Run off.
there's a lot of words for it. The concept, you know, is just that it's separation from God and punishment for the rebellion and the evils that you have done.
Alright, well, in any case, I am simply just curious on your training and such, and how you intend to keep this town safe if you can't even stop someone from using your sign as a coloring book of sorts.
Well, frankly, it can be hard from day to day, and me personally, I'd almost agree with that sentiment that they wrote there.
Would you not find the one that did this and punish them for it?
For all I know, they disappeared.
Disappeared, like, left?
The mayor won't admit it, but there's been a stream of disappearances lately that we can't even get clearance to investigate because we have to clear that with him. He's denying it.
Him.
The mayor, yeah.
Mayor.
He's on that mansion up on that hill over there, south.
Oh, he's the leader of this town.
Mhm.
Well, I will go talk with him then.
Good luck. Good luck. What's your name?
I think that this is going to be the part in which I wake up, I get out of the wagon,
I'm gonna
and
go to the mansion.
What amazing timing.
well, so okay, so this comment is going to be me as the player, not me as the character. I don't necessarily. I do think that we should investigate the mansion when it comes down to it, because based on what I just heard right now, you know, as the player, something just ain't sitting right with me.
Just walking by me.
It should be noted,
Making my way.
Is it you?
that's Nella,
I
yes.
wanted when she went by though.
It should be noted before we get to that encounter, just to set... I want to clarify before we get to that encounter, just to set the scene. It is much later in the day. It took most of the... You started basically around 6 to 9-ish in the morning, and it's now getting close to sundown.
We should probably meet all up together.
Going to the mansion.
Yeah, I would agree.
As she was walking by me, I was gonna say something to her though.
Okay.
Alright, what do you want to say?
Something is amiss in this town.
Yes, there are missing people.
You know about this already?
The guard mentioned someone disappeared.
One of the, I don't know what he's called at the, I don't know what it's called, church. One of his brethren disappeared while searching for other people who have disappeared. What did the guard tell you?
That they want to investigate it, but their leader says that it is not happening. So I was going to speak with the leader and convince him, or at least ask him why he likes to deny things that his guard tells him.
The civil magistrate. Ah, we're thinking the same way. Lead the way.
Wait, I would hold just a moment, if you please.
Mhm.
We are here tracking a slave ring, yes? People are happening to disappear.
The captain and I walking
should
out
be
of the
doing
system
something.
here is happening.
The one person who should be trying to do anything to get these people back is failing to do so. Would that not suggest that he is the one behind it?
It could suggest he is just stupid.
Well, and Donatello and the captain are walking out of the saloon. It is possible that stupidity is the case. It is natural among many civil magistrates, but when it comes to not only their men being lost, but their supplies being lost as well, crucial magic supplies as well, something seems amiss.
And they don't have
So
to
whether it be right, so whether it be either incompetence, stupidity, or maliciousness, I believe it is necessary for us to pay this mayor a visit.
Yes, I was going to do so.
You start hearing a particularly inviting yet in a soulful, woeful lament sense, a song from the saloon.
He turns his ear to listen.
It's just a lament about friends, missing friends, and losing friends. You would remember it actually specifically. It's a ballad sometimes taken up by soldiers in remembrance of their fallen comrades.
He, upon hearing it, grips his staff ever tighter and lightly closes his eyes and reminisces about the times in the war where he used to work as a medic, tying up loose ends, healing wounds, and spending those same nights singing that same song with comrades long lost and forgotten.
The rest of you hearing this for the first time, a song about putting out the lamps for the night, not only to tell the other people in the camp it's time to go to bed, but also it's time to stop being on watch.
Would I not know this song, being a part of this island and also will have had lost friends in conflict?
You might be familiar with it, but yeah.
Donatello begins to, he feels conflicted, because he wants to continue to obey the song and think we should rest for the night. But humming it, he cannot help but begin to make his way, not hobbling like he usually does, but begins marching towards the mayor's house up the hill.
Ooh, okay.
Let's go.
I guess, is everyone else following?
Yeah.
Alright. We're gonna take a really quick break before we get to that scenario. I apologize for anyone who felt like that last segment was dragging, if it did. Kyle, could you give the gospel break, please? Thank you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen of all the worlds, children of all ages, gather around, let me tell you a story about a man named Adam who screwed up everything that blamed God. What a knucklehead. Because of him, we're all born into sin, every last one of us. None are good, no, not one. None are righteous, no, not one. The wages of sin is death, and that means we stood for a just, holy, righteous God today. With that sin, we would be condemned. But there's good news, aka the gospel. 2,000 years ago, the second Adam, aka Jesus Christ, came and was born of a virgin. Perfect man, perfect God. Lived a perfect, sinless life. Went to Calvary, died for our sins, took our condemnation so we could have his righteousness, was buried in a borrowed tomb, and rose on the third day. If you confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord and believe in your heart God rose from the dead, you shall be saved. Today is the day for the Lord's salvation. He stands at the door and he knocks and he calls for you. The question is, are you going to answer? This gospel break has been brought to you by Tones of Time, a D&D based game run by Stephen Stoll that is a Christian background. Sorry, I messed up on that part.
Oh, praise Jesus!
Those are nuts, you hear me?
So then, we're like you. Because
Yes.
otherwise you wouldn't be friends with us.
I love doing the commercial type. It's fun. Okay, y'all gonna do y'all shout outs? Go around the table.
Assuming Steven allows that.
Yeah?
Yes. This is the perfect time to do it.
Anyone who didn't, because we already shouted ourselves out once in this episode, if there's anything more you want to talk about for that.
Yeah, because I just did mine, but everybody else still needs to do theirs.
Yeah. So, whoever else wants to go first can.
I'll be short. So, e-disciple, my name's Blake. Do some apologetics, but I gear most of what I do on social media toward teaching and discipleship. I do have a YouTube, part of the Men of the Way podcast, as well as the Gospel Alliance, 2 ministry groups. So check out my YouTube. It's e.disciple, just like the name here. And yeah, I like eschatology, so if you're into that, let's talk.
Well, I'll go ahead and jump on. You check out all my stuff on TikTok and all the other platforms under Kyle St. Andrews. Also go to kylestandrews.com. I have a podcast called Stream Talk, which is on at kylestandrews.com and most streaming platform services such as Google Podcasts. I'm going brain dead. iHeartRadio and Pandora Radio. Also, you can hear me on FPW or WFPW 91.1 if you're in the Wiregrass area.
Speaking of podcasts, I did currently on hiatus the podcast most excellent Theophilus. Now's a great time to get caught up if you've ever wanted to get caught up on that. Again, you can support everything I do with the Patreon down in the description. For just $5 a month, you can listen to me stumble through the Old English of the 1611 and the Tyndale New Testament. And see the bloopers for that and the Tyndale New Testament. And for $10, you also get the Tyndale New Testament. I'll be adding more things especially as I have just more actual time as I transition from where I'm currently at to where I'll be whenever, because my job's basically got a headhunter looming his axe over it. So,
Yikes.
Job security? More like, so yeah. With that, if we are all ready, we can...
I haven't gotten my shout out yet. Neither has Null. So, and actually, for my shout out this week, I get the absolute great pleasure to shout out something new that is going to be coming in the next couple of weeks. So I am the Christian Assassin. I am here on TikTok, as you can see. I also have a podcast myself in which 3 of these gentlemen have been on. You can say Black Doctor on my podcast. You can see E-Disciple on my podcast. You can see even my wonderful host here on the podcast as well. I also have a Twitch and YouTube. YouTube is the same. It is the Christian Assassin. And now, for the new stuff, I too will be starting a Patreon here in the next couple of weeks, and I am so excited. There I will be recording audiobooks for Christian novels. I am not going to tell you which one yet. You're going to have to tune into my next episode of my podcast to find out which book that is going to be the first one. There will be 3 tiers, and each one gets you more things. I also have a merch line on my Teespring. I have 3 different designs. And yeah, so go get some of my merch because I need money. So yeah,
I'm going to have to start copywriting because you guys are copying all my ideas.
Hey, just wait until I start narrating theology books.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did get the idea to do audiobooks from you, just not necessarily. I'm not gonna do theology books. I'm gonna do novels, as previously stated.
Nice.
So,
Should Patriarch teach him how to escape handcuffs and chains and locks and stuff?
ooh, that would actually be fun.
Anyways,
Oh man, the question is, who would be buying them and who would be using them?
right. Anyways, Null, if you would like to promote anything you have not henceforth promoted.
I have the campaign that I also do is on hiatus. We'll probably come back sometime in spring if I can get stuff together. That's about it, though.
There you can see me and Black Doctor, me as the Black Lotail, and him as Balgroth the Dark.
The Vengeance Paladin.
We are the Hands of Vengeance.
Yo, Jeremiah, you've got to use that voice more often when it comes to like just your regular content.
Anyways,
Can you feel the edge?
Oh yes, definitely be feeling the emo there.
this is where I want my character.
Confessed heresy.
Alright.
Now beg for your life in Latin.
Alright, so you all come to the mansion, and it's a very lavish mansion with the placard above the what's that called? The overhang for the porch. There's a gold placard that reads Mayor Hephaestus Brigand.
Brigand.
What a name.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't bode well going into this.
Yeah, he's a trustworthy guy. I like him.
As you go up, as you approach, you realize all of the height tolerances are. Who's the tallest person in our party? Would it be you, Donatello?
Let me check.
It's not me, I'm the shortest.
It's like 6'2", if I remember correctly.
It towers at least 2 or 3 head heights above the tallest of you. The door.
I'm 6 foot.
The door even.
Okay, so then I would be the tallest.
There is a large knocker on the door. Who will be the one to ring it?
I want to kick the door.
Alright, roll a strength check.
Why do you always just resort to kicking down a door?
Because doors don't exist, Tanella.
Roll a strength.
Nella is the one who knocks.
Fair enough.
Wait. Let me assess the door real quick.
Okay.
How, stable does this door
It's a roll. Either investigation or either perception or insight, whichever you want.
We'll do perception.
It looks pretty solid there. They seem to be white painted oak, gold knobs, gold hinges.
Oh, there's gold on this door.
It's very
I'm
lavish.
using my warhammer.
Okay, roll an attack. Roll damage.
Cool.
You put a dent right into the door as you hear a loud clopping from inside as someone approaches. And the door, both doors open, as behind them is a 7-8, you can't really clock, foot tall, almost half as wide, bipedal hippo man staring down at you in a smoker jacket with a large pipe.
Like a Studio Ghibli creature.
He looks.
Great Gatling Hippo!
He looks at you.
So it's like twice her size.
Yeah, he looks at you and goes, "Who are you?"
Who are you?
I am Niela, and we would like to speak to the mayor. Are you him?
I am Hephaestus Brigand, Mayor of Trent.
Alright. Why do you deny that people are disappearing?
I have no clue what you speak of.
Okay.
People
So
disappearing?
my warhammer just went through your door.
Well, you'll have to pay for that. That's very rude.
Also, well, the gold will cover it. You have gold on your door. It's extravagant. It's unnecessary. What do you think is happening to the people who are disappearing then?
I don't know, they're running away for some reason or another. I don't know why anyone would ever want to leave the great Trent. But...
Your presence confuses me. I will let you talk to the turtle.
We have a turtle? Well, hello, friend. And of the rare species, you are kind of familiar with this one, being the least of the aquatic, but being semi-aquatic. This is, this hippo folk is referred to as a GIF.
Of course it is.
Though, begrudgingly, you are familiar with some debate over whether it's pronounced as a G or a J.
Why would you do that?
And therefore Donatello puts it both ways just to spite him. But it's amazing how you, as one of the GIF, are able to lead this town. Unfortunately, sir, it seems that your townsfolk do not appreciate your leadership and have noticed that you have been lackluster in defending your town.
Then they can go where the others did. This tobacco is not as good.
He grinds his teeth. I thought your people were not disappearing.
They're not.
You just said where they went.
Of course, they left. Clearly. Look, I am a very busy man. It is very late. I have dinner to eat. I have watermelons to break betwixt my jaws.
Before he finishes his sentence, I brush past our bishop friend. I draw my scimitar, I place it up against his throat, and yes, I am aware that I have to actually reach up to actually do that.
He backs up.
I press it up against his throat, and I say, quite aggravated, I grow tired of your babbling.
He backs up and kind of parries your blade a little with the bit of his pipe. Just goes, my, you are quite daring. I could have the guard arrest you this instant. But if you leave me to my evening, I will let you go unharmed.
Is that a threat?
It's a promise.
I knew I was gonna say that.
Wait, remind me, is there anyone in the party that speaks Draconic? Ooh. I turn to our elf friends.
As you
speak to him in that tongue, if you don't mind.
As you hesitate and pause, the doors slam behind you, and you hear the sound of what's probably a ram being slammed down against it, and you hear the person clodding off.
My sword was still up.
He's getting away.
Wait, what happened to my sword? I still had my sword pointed at him.
He closed the door. You turned away.
Yeah, I could turn away and do this with my sword still up pointed at him.
And the door could close, pushing it away.
Yeah, well, I think as you were moving, he backs away and then pushes.
You try the door, and like a video game that's telling you can't go this way, it makes that clicking noise.
Can I try and pry the gold off of the door?
What would that be?
I have an axe, I can just kind of...
I'll say roll a strength check.
Alright.
I'm assuming you went opposite of the way we were all standing, right? Like,
yeah.
I want to get the hinges first.
Yeah, you're not really getting good purchase on the gold. It seems to be well secured into place.
Well, in any case, how are the windows looking? How are the windows looking?
Can I use Sacred Flame to burn the door down?
Oh my goodness.
We're getting in this building.
You feel a cold breeze, suggesting it's getting even later.
Oh well.
Hey,
How's the window looking?
I got a horn of gunpowder here. We can get in that door.
Oh my goodness.
He's right.
This is the moment, YouTube, when they derailed my campaign.
I just want to know how the window's looking.
It's like, do you guys want to go to sleep? No, it's time for war.
You know, they look like
Time for arson and breaking and entering.
they look like good.
Look,
They look up good windows that were once belonged to an upstanding mayor that might now be in the hands of a hippo.
So there's no, like, sheet of metal blocking it, it's just a window.
It's just a
So
window.
the hippo ate the bear?
Can I jump through the window?
Ah, yes.
Breaking the glass, I understand.
Water. Mayor.
That would be an acrobatics check.
Mayor Conti Lope was formerly.
What? I didn't hear that.
Mayor Conti Lope, the former mayor before the hippo came into town and went.
Oh, jeez. Yes, I would like to ram the window and perhaps break through it.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
Up on the door?
Are you sure you wanted?
Here's a question: how high up is the window from the ground?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, yeah. It is actually too high to be reached without throwing something at it or stacking stuff.
hey, we could
First
toss it.
story window?
Yeah, everything on this building. So first off, everything on this building is built on like a basement foundation, and then on top of that, everything is scaled for the hippo.
Hey, how strong are you? How strong are you? Because we can put Donatello could go in his shell and we could heave hope him in the window.
Yes. Honestly,
break the door down.
I'm actually not very strong. I have a 0 strength modifier.
I am very strong. Let's throw the turtle.
I have a 4 strength modifier. Wait. No, there's gonna be a problem. I weigh 400 pounds, so you guys are gonna have to do something else. You're going to probably have to use me as a stand, or because I have a +4 strength modifier, I could help in throwing her.
I think I'm
through the window.
I'm gonna hit the door. And whatever. Should I do an investigative for finding a weak point?
Sure, roll an investigation.
Huh?
Blake, your armor, are you able to is that a spell that you can transfer onto somebody else for protection?
I was, but that's not what my plan was. And
I don't
that's
know. How's ice armor gonna protect her?
that's not what I was gonna do.
It would just keep her from getting damage from the window.
Well,
Failed.
but it does say when attacked that the creature would receive 5 damage, not an object.
You see in the distance as the sun hits that sweet spot where the sky looks beautiful as it's setting.
Oh, well.
And we're paying absolutely no attention to this because we need to get into this freaking house.
Do you though?
Is there a basement?
I'm getting happy because I'm standing beside a graveyard. The way Supernatural's going on here, something might come out of the graveyard.
So the map is not actually scaled to you guys. That's kind of just a relative scale. You would be within viewing distance of the graveyard. If you want to take a look at it, you can roll a perception or investigation check, whichever you prefer.
I rolled investigation for the weakness of the door.
Okay. The only
It was pretty good.
The only weak point you now find is the gigantic Warhammer dent. Or maul dent, whichever weapon it is that she has.
How big is the hole?
It's not a hole, it's just a dent. You've just, severely dented the wood.
If I hit it again, will it become a hole?
You could certainly try. You just see a graveyard that's now
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
You said the door's locked, right?
Yes.
I have thieves' tools. I want to try and use them.
Okay, roll for that. But to answer his roll, with that investigation, the shadow has fallen over the graveyard. You can't really make out what's going on in it. Alright, you successfully picked the lock and realized that the inside was barred.
I knew there was something behind the door. That's why I wanted to use the window.
Oh, no, wait. I know what to do.
Yes, assassin.
I take my sword, and I slid it in between the two doors to then...
It's too tight together for the width of your sword.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Suggestion. Turtle battering ram.
Yeah!
I don't want to use my head!
Well, there's a difference between a turtle catapult and a turtle battering ram.
Right, because all we would have to do
Is
is
just push me.
Jeremiah goes into his shell. All four of us, no matter what, regardless of each of our strength modifiers, literally just pick him up and whang!
What we do is he starts running. We're pushing him as he runs. Then he goes to the shell.
Rolls the way
rolls.
Okay, I want to get a quick vibe check. Just for tonight. How much longer can we all go?
Please back away from the door. I do again. I'm gonna shoot it.
How much longer can we all go for tonight?
I can go until midnight. Then I will have to go to bed.
10 minutes from now.
That is about 10 minutes from now.
Okay.
I know. But, church tomorrow.
Right, true. So like about 15 minutes. 10-15 minutes.
Could y'all roll like an insight check? Says a party.
You're trying to save this.
I am not. It's very on par with Nella right now.
Donatello.
How high does the I have the highest. Do I see anything?
Donatello,
I can use my inspiration.
as you're thinking about this whole scenario, something funky's going on with town. The mayor seems too pompous and/or stupid to really be involved in anything. You feel like this is more of a dead end than anything, more of just say if Dante were writing this scenario, that poet of whose work was graffitied on the entrance to town, this would certainly be a character meant to poke fun rather than to actually be relevant to the plot.
Brothers and sister, I knowing this, I see we are angered, especially at his incompetence and pompousness. But I believe there is a greater danger afoot. Don't get me wrong. I believe the turtle bowling ball idea would work. But I believe there is a greater danger that needs our attention. And once we get done with him, maybe, just maybe, we could try the trick again on the bear.
Oh my god.
Are you always so quick to give up?
Well, no, but I do sense a greater danger ahead. Something that might actually deal with this one a lot better than we can do now.
Do we get to fight this danger? I'm for it if we get to fight for this danger.
It is possible. It could be the case. It's not just simply peace, but he looks towards Rafa. He looks towards Rafa. This would be the case of justice.
I just look at the captain. I'm like, Captain, is all you ever think about is fighting?
No, I like food, I like gold.
You were the one who was the first to put a weapon. You were the first one to bring a weapon. Well, you were the first one to bring a weapon against someone in this scenario here.
You literally threatened his life. I just knocked his door in a little bit.
You just knocked really hard. So we all proceed back to settle into the saloon for the night? Question mark.
Can I try and get the hinges one more time?
Sure. Sure. Roll with disadvantage, please.
What am I doing again?
Strength with disadvantage.
Strength with disadvantage.
Oh gosh! Oh no!
I know.
You've very badly marred.
Can I get one?
You've gotten a few flecks of broken off gold that there's really no good percher for anything you're trying to do.
There's 2 hinges on that door though.
Oh.
And I rolled 2 times.
He's trying so hard.
Just the door hinge, sir. Please.
It frowns at you and becomes a mimic. Roll initiative. No. No. Anyways. Defeated. What do the heroes do?
I guess I go.
Okay.
Oh man!
Oh god, Jesus,
Okay. As you go past the library, a full tabaxi is closing up. A woman in full-on traditional house on the prairie outfit, doing a little last sweeping, and kind of just looking distraught. As you go to the saloon, the price for a room for 3 nights is 2 gold.
Imagine I have no money.
You have
I'll
no
pay
money?
for you.
Okay.
Donatello places 4 pieces of gold on the counter.
Okay.
I placed my 2 pieces.
Also, some rooms have multiple beds, so anyone who's not uncomfortable with bunking up. You find the other members of your party already made it in and were drinking at the bar. Lance explains that they
Carmichael
have...
better not be drinking.
He's drinking milk. He's drinking a nice tall glass of milk.
Cool.
Lance explains that the wagon has been taken down to the forge to be worked on and reinforced even. He got a bad deal. Anything else you want to say before you guys go in for the night to any of each other or the NPCs?
Can I see who's in the bar aside from my party?
As you look around, there's really no one you recognize. The postmaster actually though is off in a lone corner with a tall glass of ale.
Interesting.
He's got a book that he's working. He's got a little notebook that he's working through feverishly. He seems very anxious, despite how much you assume he's had.
Interesting.
I don't want to drag out this much longer because I know that you guys have to go soon. So
It's fine. That man is as sober as the day he was born. You are still drinking. This is goat's milk. It is brown. It was an ugly goat.
It's not goat milk.
Oh my gosh, I have not seen you in forever, dude.
right.
It's a mole.
Goodness.
I guess Mela would go talk to the postmaster.
Okay. You gonna ask?
Mr. Postman.
Hello again. Yeah. Goes back to
Oh,
Phil.
I do not know who you are. What are you doing? You look,
I'm trying to keep track of mail orders coming in, mail orders going out. It's really hard without a courier. Our last one went missing, and I have a really important letter that I need to get to Valen at once. He slams the table. Oh, sorry. Takes a big slug of ale.
How many people have gone missing?
I don't know. Well, actually, no, I should know because their mail keeps piling up. I lost count, frankly. I don't know. He starts weeping.
Has mail been going missing?
Not that I know of. A few broken correspondences, because, I'm not nosy into people's business at all. Look, you want to be...
For the mayor.
Look, if you want to be some help around here, if you guys are leaving town soon, there is a letter that if you're going northwest up to Valen, I need delivered at once.
Why not send a messenger bird?
Well, what?
A messenger bird. Tie it to their leg and they fly off to where it needs to go, and then they come back with a response.
There's too many predator birds around here for us to practice that.
That's why you use predatory birds for this. They eat the smaller ones, and they go.
You see me, I'm a halfling, and they'd probably carry me off instead.
You did not answer my question.
I
Was
look.
there mail for the mayor? Is there mail for the mayor?
There's a few, but you know, it's an imperial crime to snoop.
Well, I am not from here, so I cannot commit crime. Tell me what was sent to the mayor.
I cannot commit crime. Diplomatic immunity.
Oh, Bill's mostly. He has some rich family back in Valen.
Well, I mean, there's also, we have a bishop from the Imperial Church here, so there's that too.
The mayor is not from this town. He's from a different town.
Oh yeah, well his family. See, he's old money, but he's also new money at the same time. He's made a good living for himself. Yes, his family's originally from Valen, the great port town, and he came here soon after the former mayor died in a tragic fire, and rebuilt the mansion to his own personal spec needs and all that. And he's been mayor ever since. He was a good mayor too for a time. Then I guess the dragon madness, as the dwarves called it, got to him.
Madness?
Well, I mean that's just a term they use for greed. You know, you get a little taste of gold, and suddenly it's all you want.
Well, the gold is very nice to have, but anything in excess is dangerous, of course.
Humbug! I just want my letters.
I don't know why you like to collect paper, but.
Right.
Do you think that the mayor is connected with people going missing?
Oh, no. I don't know who would be connected with it. But what I do know is that my courier is missing, and I will reward you all with 50 gold if you and your little party that just came into town could take it to Valen. And he pulls out the little crumpled up letter and hands it to you, and
takes the letter.
It says priority mail with the same stamp on it that you've seen around the churches.
I'm not going to fully open it, but can she go to open it? I want to see what he does.
You can tell it's sealed, and he's too busy he's too busy frantically working on his bookkeeping.
All right, cool. She gives this to the turtle.
All right.
He places it within a small compartment within his shell for special stuff.
A shell with pockets.
Yes. Question. With the existence of old money and new money, does that also imply the existence of some time ago money?
There's also long forgotten gold money.
Gold.
That's what happens when a non-binary goes mining. They've got gold in them there.
So you settle in for the. So do y'all settle in for the night?
Yeah, I'm
Good night, everybody.
Gonna go to sleep.
All right. So you all settle into bed, and a mostly dreamless night comes to you. But we will find out next week, or not next week, next week. Just what does come to our burgeoning heroes. Thank you all. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you all for watching, both here and later on YouTube. Have a good night, and God bless.
Dim the lanterns, doff ye gear, for honor earn ye listen here. For kin who gone, for body fair, listen this song and rest ye well. Pray souls past, pray widows still, pray 'twas fast, pray on until the golden gates, are a light among the saints they are tonight. I'll dim the lanterns, doff ye gear, for honor earn ye listen here. For kin who gone, for body fell, listen this song and rest ye well. And pray war's end, pray guns still, pray for a friend out on hill. Final patrol, say no more, I'll drink till full and pour another more. And dim the lanterns, doff ye gear, For honor earned he, listen here. For kin who gone, for body fell. Listen this song and rest ye well. Listen this song and rest ye well.